Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And this baby box have gone down to Australia, 24 points to 19. Two cards, probably the big difference, as well as just not enough of a good enough skill set really from the baby box. In tricky conditions, they were well outplayed, to be honest, and almost burgled it at the end, but were just not good enough throughout. And definitely gives head coach Van Clerco a lot to consider going into the final game against Argentina. Now, before we break the game down, talk about exactly how serious is this? Is this a reason to panic? Is this a bump in the road? Before we start talking about that, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so first of all, it was a very changed team to the one that drew against New Zealand last week. I think just 5 players retaining their spots in the starting 15, which did include a positional switch for Batavia Shekani. And they started off pretty woefully, I'll be perfectly honest. That first half, really, apart from maybe a sort of 5 to 6 minute period, pretty poor in that first half. And the biggest issue came in an early yellow card in this red card in the 20 minutes from Mike Obelum, which meant that 20 minutes of that first half was played with 14 men. Now, it is a 20-minute red card, so they were allowed to bring back somebody on after 20 minutes, but they weren't really in the game, and tricky conditions, once again, very wet, and playing against the wind in the first half, much like they did in the first game against New Zealand. But I thought Australia were just much better. They started better, they were winning the small battles, and both their teams actually really sort of struggled with conditions with regards to handling, but Australia adapted, and South Africa didn't, and far too many handling errors throughout the game. The soft skills, I think that's a bit of a concern. The soft skills just didn't seem good enough from a South African perspective. When they looked good is when they kept things a bit simple. They scored a try through JF Van Heerden, and that was on the back of a really good pasture of play where they just kept it simple. They just shifted amongst the forwards. They used their physicality. It's a very big pack. It's a decent pack. There's a lot of good players in this SA under-20 side. I think a lot of people are freaking out about the results, freaking out at the performance. And I always look at under-20 games and under-20, tournaments, and I never think it's a clear reflection of the talent coming through. First of all, there are players right now who will be ahead of other players who will develop a lot better in the future. There are certain players who at the moment might not be close to their best. Some players are sort of peaking at the right time, some aren't. So I think age group rugby is always, you have to take it with a bit of pinch of salt. We last won a junior tournament, I think, back in 2012, so 12 years ago, and yet we're still producing really good talent in the younger generation. You look at a Kane and Moody coming through. You look at even sort of the mid-range sort of age guys. Your Mindy Box, your Kurt Lawrence's, for example. There's a lot of good talent coming up in South Africa. There's no doubt about it. What I do think is I think Mafana Ntleko got a lot from this game in regards to the players he's currently using and the selection. We scored a try in the 32nd minute, but immediately conceded one after that. 35th minute, Australia went over, and that was the same in the second half, where we got a little bit better, had a bit of moments. Best to win over for a try in the 62nd minute. Thurman Williams adding the extras, and then bang, we conceded 2 minutes later. So that's complete coach killer, and that's just concentration as well. That is immaturity. Switching off just after you scored a try. You've just got yourself into the game, just got yourself into a lead, bang, you concede. And that happened twice in a row. And I think that was probably, the sort of the early stage of showing that Australia really were up for it and we're going to go all the way. And that last yellow card in the 72nd minute against Lekani was almost a bit of a nail in the coffin. There was a late try, because he conceded a penalty try, which obviously put Australia well back in front. But late try from Bester did give us small hope, but with 2.5 minutes left, there was always going to be a little bit too much to do. So I think, what Mafana Ntleko has learned, I think he'll have a much better idea of who is sort of his best 15 is, his strongest 23. And there were players who put in some good shifts last week who didn't play this week, and that were definitely missed. And I don't mind that. I kept saying, for me, the World Under-20 Championship is the big one this year, isn't it? That's happening in sort of July down in Stellenbosch. So I don't mind the rotation, as long as you're getting information. And I think we are. I think we are starting to see which players maybe aren't really at this level, which players really are. And hopefully Argentina will be another big step with regards to putting together our best 23 against a decent Argentinian side, which dispatched this Australia side. They did get kind of, I wouldn't say blown away, well, probably blown away by New Zealand. Lost by 18 points earlier, but did score 20 points. So they'll provide a stiff task for the Baby Box, who need to respond, need to show something, don't they? A lot of pride on the line now. The chance of winning the trophy probably gone. But still a big opportunity on Sunday to try and get a result, to try and build towards that under-20 championship. Let me know what you think about the team down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.